play for the last 36 hours, and that is snow. The snow began to fall right around 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon. It's continued throughout the day and on into the evening and is expected to continue through this game. Phil, the question is, does it figure to help a New England defense that's only allowed 1 touchdown in its last 19 quarters?
Well, Greg, defensive players and coaches, they love bad weather because they know that's going to slow the other team's offense down. But in the case of the Patriots defense, the last 5 games they had played extremely well, mainly because the Patriots defense changes its game plan every single week. They show offenses new wrinkles, so it makes it hard to get in rhythm, find ways to score points. And John Gruden says, oh my gosh, New England's had 2 weeks to scheme up plays for us. He knows it's going to be difficult.
Well, there isn't another team in the AFC that has the offensive weapons that the Oakland Raiders do. If you're the Patriots, who do you stop first?
Well, listen, the Raiders are in this game because of their offense, and if you want to be successful, you need a lot of ways to get it done. You got a quarterback who can throw and run and played as well as anybody in football. Charlie Garner can run and catch it. And then you have 2 Hall of Fame wide receivers. So the Patriots, I think, first, they want to try to stop those wide receivers and just hope that Charlie Garner and John Ritchie, people like that, don't beat them.
Well, this is only the 3rd time that the Raiders and the Patriots have met in the postseason. Each franchise has won once, and each time the winning team has advanced to the Super Bowl. Interesting stuff. Jim, back to you.
All right, Greg and Phil, look forward to your call. The Raiders trying to win a playoff game on the road for the first time since January of 1981 at San Diego. 21 years. The weather. Who does it favor here, Mike?
Well, I don't think this kind of weather favors anybody, but if it favors anybody, here's what. The running game, the team that runs the ball the best is going to have an advantage. The other thing is the offensive receivers know where they're going when they make their cuts. Defenders don't. Go to the offense more than the defense.
Well, I'll tell you one group it doesn't favor. It's those poor fans that have to sit in those stands in that snow and freeze. I talked to Ted Cottrell, the defensive coordinator of the Jets, just a little while ago. He faced these teams 4 times this year. He said, look for 2 things. One is Rich Gannon running the ball, and 2 is Troy Brown being a punt returner, which he's really good, catching short passes in air and making things happen down the field.
Hey, guys, I just looked at that field and the way it's snowing. I used to coach full press, bump and run, man-to-man, unless it was snowing. If you slip, it's a touchdown. Look for the Raiders. They'll have to change and play zone because they won't have good traction for the corners.
Okay. Now listen, tomorrow the defending Super Bowl champion Ravens visit the Steelers in the other AFC divisional playoff. Both teams boast a confident defense.
We're the #1 defense, hands down. I mean, we went out there proving it time after time, even our head-to-head battle with Baltimore, and we showed them.
And we truly believe that if we can get somebody on an 80-yard field, we truly don't believe nobody can just drive the length of the field and score on us.
This is the culmination of what I've worked my whole life for, to be in this position, and I will not let us fail.
Everyone's asking and waiting for us to go and talk and, oh, call this guy out, call that guy out.
If you don't win, the next game is at the crib. If you win, the next game is going to the AFC Championship.
All right, again, that's tomorrow. And, Randy, we all know the Ravens looked like the Ravens of last week.
Well, they did, especially defensively. That's the key to this football team. But you have to look at 2 things, in my opinion, in this game. One is Cordell Stewart, who did not finish this season well. It's a different defense he's facing this time, though he victimized them last time they played. And secondly is something everybody's talking about, but you still have to concentrate on it. Chris Brown, the kicker for the Pittsburgh Steelers, has missed 10 kicks this year. They're at Heinz Field. He will be a factor in that game.
All right, fellas, in the NFC divisional playoffs, the Eagles advance to the NFC Championship game for the first time since 1980, and a very down-in-the-dumps Mike Ditka. Take me through it here.
Well, early in the game, they got to Jim Miller, rolled over him. That was Hugh Douglas. And then here comes Donovan McNabb. He finds Cecil Martin. He scrambles all over the football field. If one man won a football game, this guy won it. They had a quarterback, and I believe they had an unbelievable quarterback. Bears had none. Here he goes again. This is picked up by Azuma. Azuma makes a touchdown here, gets the Bears back in it. They look like they got a chance at this point.
McNabb's really only mistake. But this gave him the lead right here.
This one, Jim, they didn't even send a guy out to cover Deuce Staley. He catches the ball for a touchdown. It was an easy throw. Touchdown. McNabb took another touchdown in, 33-19.
And Shane Matthews had to come in after that Miller sack that you showed there. He separated his shoulder. So Philadelphia will next week either host Green Bay if the Packers win tomorrow, or they will play at St. Louis. Now, updating Kurt Warner's condition. Of course, hit in the throat, couldn't talk for a while, then fighting the flu. He's been calling the signals in practice the last 2 days. Cadence should not be a problem, we hear from Mike Martz. Jerry?
No, not at all. And really, watch one thing on him. He's going to have a longer cage. The cage is going to go down and protect his throat so he doesn't lose that voice. But I think the Packers got a chance. They got the MVP 3 times. They got the quarterback, Brett Favre. Match him pass for pass. Throw as much as they throw. Ring the bell. Light them up.
Ring the bell. You know what? I'm actually glad you are here. Of course I am. And a reminder, you can tune in February 1st at 10 Eastern as CBS Friday Night Super Bowl Bash features Sting and No Doubt. AOL users can win a chance to be there live or win tickets to an on-field performance by U2. Just enter the keyword NFL Concert Contest. As we continue on this primetime playoff edition of the NFL Today, Leslie Visser with the story of a Patriot and his historic ride. And no, we don't mean Paul Revere.
Patriot fans were worried, devastated when Drew Bledsoe went down. But Tom Brady, he's given them reason to believe.
Jerry Rice may have left his heart in San Francisco, but he certainly didn't leave his game.
You want to know why I enjoy playing for the Raiders? Stay tuned.
The NFL Today is presented by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36.
Pizza, the staple of the American male, oftentimes served dangerously hot.
Thanks. Okay.
To cool it, they use an age-old technique known as the reverse blow. The Rolling Rock continues the cooling process.
It's good.
Rolling Rock beer. Grab a rock.
Ditka's mad as a bear.
Yeah, I'm mad, all right.
He used a bargain trash bag.
Some bargain.
Mike, you should have used Glad Quick Tie bags. Glad Quick Tie are the only bags with 3-ply strength. They won't break like this bargain bag.
These Glad bags are tough.
None tougher. Go deep. Don't get mad.
Nice arm.
Get Glad. Available in kitchen and large trash bags.
See what? The Mothman Prophecies is absolutely bone-chilling. It jolts you off your seat. You're frightened right now, aren't you? Based on true events, The Mothman Prophecies, rated PG-13, opens everywhere Friday.
Wake up! It's time for 7-Eleven. Start with a cup of fresh brewed 7-Eleven coffee. Then grab one of our hot breakfast sandwiches. Or choose from our bakery selections delivered fresh daily. And get your morning going. I work nights. Oops. Old day, Kevin.
Dennis, listen, got a little advertising opportunity for you, Pally. Foot powder.
Yeah, foot powder, right. Forget about it.
Well, before you say that, it's a truckload of money.
Sam, I don't do commercials, period.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir. I told them that.
Know why I don't do commercials?
Why's that, pal?
Because they're dishonest. They lie.
Boy, that's strong language.
I'm supposed to peddle some product I don't even use. Forget about it. I'm not going to do it.
I wouldn't let you do it.
You better believe it.
Hey, sports fans. For all of your news, scores, expert analysis, and fantasy advice, go to cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline.
Audience, you know.
All right, with the cold and inclement weather, New England running back Antoine Smith, as Coach Ditka said, running a big part of the story here tonight, and this man could be a big factor. Smith acquired from Buffalo in the offseason to fill the key piece of the Patriots puzzle, giving the team its first 1,000-yard rusher since Robert Edwards, 1998. Welcome back to the NFL Today. The most pleasant surprise in the Patriots' backfield has been the play of quarterback Tom Brady, who came off the bench for the injured Drew Bledsoe and led New England on a stunning 11-3 run to the AFC East title. And Leslie Visser joins us now with more about Tom Brady.
Well, it is, Jim, it's a magical mood up there. You know, I think Tom Brady could run for governor, and who would have said that a year ago? It's a like you said, an amazing feel-good story. We've all heard the story of Diamond Jim Brady, who began as a bellboy and finished as one of America's wealthiest tycoons. Well, here's the football equivalent. Tom Brady, last year invisible on the Patriots bench, this year 2 wins from the Super Bowl.
Brady's 4th touchdown pass of the game. Picture-perfect throw by Tom Brady.
Tom, when you go to bed at night, do you say, wow, this is pretty amazing?
It's been a good season. It's been a good season. It's come a long way since that second week when I started playing. Being a quarterback in this league, you learn every week, and some weeks it's easier than others. You know, other weeks it's pretty tough out there.
In the beginning of the year, if someone had said you're going to the Pro Bowl, what would you have thought?
I probably said.
You talking to me?
I know. You know, when I became the #2 quarterback, I felt, you know, you're one snap away. And then once I was playing, I said, well, let's see how well I am prepared.
He definitely matured faster than a lot of us expected. We knew he had a lot of confidence and could play, but, you know, we didn't expect him to come in and do the things he did, making the Pro Bowl and all that stuff.
Long before quarterbacking the Patriots and the University of Michigan, Brady was a standout for Sarah High School in San Mateo, California. But even if he leads New England to the Super Bowl, he'd have a way to go before being considered his school's most famous athlete.
Do you think you could become the most famous graduate of Sarah High School?
Well, Barry Bonds is he'd be a tough one to beat out, but I'll worry about that at the end of my career like he is. So I'm just trying to be, you know, better this game than I have been the previous 14.
What about growing up in the Bay Area? Were you, dare I say it, a Raider fan?
I was a 49er fan. I was lucky enough to grow up and watch two of the greatest quarterbacks to ever to play, Steve Young and Joe Montana.
Is it strange for you to see Jerry Rice in a Raider uniform?
Yeah, it is. It is. I was a guy that, I'd be lining up on the outside and friends throwing me a post and say, I'm Jerry Rice and you're Joe Montana. And sure enough, he's coming in here to play.
With Drew Bledsoe now healthy, the question arises, if Brady should falter in his first playoff start, might we see the man who once led New England to the Super Bowl?
Are there any circumstances that Drew Bledsoe would play?
If Tom was injured.
Other than that, if he struggles?
Yeah, Tom's our quarterback. This game's no different than any other game for us, the last 14 for Tom.
When it comes down to it, it's playing football, and it's the same thing that I've been doing for the last 14 weeks. Might be a little louder, a little more intense. It comes down to the best team's gonna win.
Troy Brown told me that, yes, Tom Brady is great, but he still doesn't get to pick the music in the weight room. We'll take a couple more years for that. Well, lately, Tom Brady has struggled. In the last 5 games, remember back when the Patriots were playing, he threw 5 interceptions and only 2 touchdowns. But let's face it, when the Patriots get in the red zone, they're going to give the ball to Antoine Smith. Mike, Tom Brady, I don't think he has to win this game. He just has to manage it.
I don't think he has to win it either, but I think he has to match up pretty good with Rich Gannon, because if he doesn't, he's going to have a lot of problems. And that's what happened today in the Bears game. The quarterbacks didn't match up with Donovan McNabb. You've got to be able to match up at that position.
Hey, his job isn't to be more like Drew Bledsoe. It's to be more like maybe Phil Simms is up in the booth. Very conservative, pass for the good numbers. I love you, too. Get the ball to your receivers and watch those running backs pound the ball.
Hey, one thing if you watch Brady, and nice piece you had there, let's say, it's this finger. Not since who? Terry Bradshaw. He takes that finger and puts on the back of the ball. He throws short passes. This gives you great accuracy for 10 yards and shorter. But in the cold weather and deep passes, that finger's got to come down here, so it's going to be a big adjustment. That'll palm it.
Right, cold weather, too. Trying to throw that football. Rich Gannon has small hands, has a hard time sometimes in cold weather. Up next, Dion covers the best receiver of them all, man-to-man, naturally.
182 yards. A magnificent night for Rice.
Now, why does Jerry look so good? Because he's back where he's comfortable in the playoffs.
Last Super Bowl, Miller Lite gave away inflatable chairs. This year, inflatable Troy Aikman.
I love football. I love a lot of things. I love nature. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm an Aquarius. I have that sort of watery kind of sense of things. I make these jeans. Can I get your autograph?
On second thought, now you can win an inflatable chair and a Super Bowl party kit that includes banners, cups, and $100 to turn your house into Super Bowl Central. Enter at MillerLite.com or wherever Miller Lite is sold.
This stuff's pretty cool. What?
Think of e-business as a game. You got players, you got management. You got to get all the players to play together.
He won't pass.
Mainframe? I thought he retired. He's making a comeback. You got opponents who don't always play by the rules. You could get hurt.
Uh-oh, they're all down.
What happens? It's a game that takes strategy.
This is a triangle.
Innovation.
Here's a new guy. His name is Lennox.
And the ability to move that metaphorical ball that is information. If you don't keep the fans happy, you need someone to blame. That would be Me. See, there's more money on the line than in any other game that's ever been played. E-business isn't just a game, it's the game. So if you're going to play, play to win.
Hey, where are you off to?
Some conference in Cleveland.
Oh yeah, who with?
With Cooper.
Cooper.
Who's naughty on this plane?
This guy.
How much do you make?
Drink. Because it's not as much as I make, I'll tell you that much right now.
Sort by shortest flights. Another way Expedia makes it easy to find the trip you're looking for.
Expedia.com.
We all know that the great players will make the big plays in the big games.
There's so many great players. You know, Brett Favre was always good in the playoffs.
Well, the first person that comes to my mind is Franco Harris,
Walter Payton,
Jack Lambert,
Emmitt Smith, especially Joe Montana. So cool.
They feel they can make that big play to get their team through.
Certainly Bradshaw,
Johnny Unitas,
John Elway.
Iceman, guys that step up huge.
This is where legends are born. Playoff games.
Raiders quarterback Rich Gannon, drafted in 1987 by, of all teams, the Patriots, who had plans to convert him into a safety, but instead they traded him to Minnesota, where he started his career. Welcome back to the NFL Today. Rich Gannon still going strong 14 years after he came into the league, but his teammate Jerry Rice is a 17-year veteran who's really defied Father Time. Deion Sanders joins us, and you certainly know that too.
Father Time isn't even on Jerry's mind. This guy keeps going and going. He had me ready to come back to the studio, not to the game. But when I spoke to Jerry Rice earlier this year, he told me how much he prides himself on getting better in the second half of the season, and better still at playoff time. Well, he sure did himself proud last week against the Jets, catching 9 for $183 yards and a touchdown. And the legend just keeps growing and growing and growing.
The exterminator has returned.
He's got it! A magnificent night for Rice.
Listen up, man. I got one game ball. This unbelievable guy now. This man is 39 years old. He's really 29 years old. Where's Jerry Rice at? Jerry Rice.
What keeps you going, Jerry? You've been shining for years.
Man, the love of the game. I still
Look
enjoy
in that camera and say the love of the game.
Man, I love football. You know, I'm still a little kid
I like
out
them to
there.
see that twinkle in your eye.
You know, because, you know, I'm still waiting for that perfect game.
After all these years.
I don't
After
know.
all
You
these
know,
years.
hopefully I can get that perfect game in before I retire.
9 catches for 182 yards.
Rank that game for me.
God,
that
it's
was
right
a,
up
that
there.
was a
It's
Jerry
right up there,
Rice
man.
special.
It was one of those days where, you know, it's prime time now. You know, everything is on the line.
that again.
And it's prime time.
What time?
You know how we do it, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, when the lights are shining on you, you got to go out there and perform. You know, but I didn't do it by myself. You know, it was a team effort.
They're not double teaming Tim anymore because you got JR on the other side.
Yeah, you know, and that's basically what I wanted when I came here. I wanted to be an impact player, to take some of the pressure off him, and I think I have done that.
Does it bother you when you see that ball just steady going to the other side of the field and you know you open and you saying, now, come on now. All right, Rich.
Well, you know, D, I have to be honest. You know, I want the ball.
Your
I'm not gonna
competitive
say,
nature.
you know, your competitive nature is say, hey, let me make a play too. You know, I want to be a big part of what we're doing here. But I did say when he signed here, you know, if he's going to take me to the Super Bowl and win it, I'm going to get on his back.
What does he bring to the table?
Man, he's Jerry Rice.
Tim Brown, so much respect, man. When you got that type of chemistry going on, man, you know, great things gonna happen.
Great catch, baby. It's a great catch, Captain.
Tell me something. How do you handle things in the huddle when things aren't going well, knowing that this isn't a Jerry Rice team, this is a Tim Brown team? Will you speak out in the huddle and say, you got to give me that ball? How do you handle that?
You know what, I haven't said anything all year long because I know eventually it's gonna happen for me.
You go in the huddle in New England and that ball's not coming your way. After what you did last week, how does Jerry Rice handle that?
It's gonna come. I know that. It's gonna come. You know, Tim is gonna get opportunities. I'm gonna get opportunities.
In New England, forget the weather.
It doesn't matter.
We're gonna look for a Jerry Rice show.
I got to make plays. The pressure's on me right now, and I'm not gonna shy away from it.
And you like that.
I love it. I love it, man. It's part of what I do, and I get so much excitement out of it.
What's the secret to Jerry Rice's success? Come in close and I'll tell you. Aside from all his talent, hard work, and heart, it's these sweet, chewy treats he liked to gobble up during games. Did that sound like a paid endorsement?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it was an endorsement, but Jerry, I ain't get paid.
These are Jerry's, though.
These are Jerry Rice's playmakers, and they're good.
Hey, let me ask you about the advantage tonight. Is it for Jerry or for the guy that's going against him in weather like this? How would you try to stop him tonight?
I would bump and run, Jerry. Jerry's feet isn't as quick as they used to be, but the inclement weather, I'm telling you, they got to back off and play a soft cushion, and Jerry's not going to hurt you because this weather is terrible.
Well, I tell you, I saw this guy coming to Chicago a few years ago. The field was frozen, it was cold, and he beat us. And I tell you what, he might be the greatest football player that ever played this game.
Watch yourself. Watch yourself.
He should go into the Hall of Fame immediately. They should even wait 5 years.
And your guys backed off, and that's why they gave him that room to move. Bill Belichick and his defense have always had success against Jerry Rice. In 3 games when he was coordinated with the Giants, Jerry Rice averaged 4 catches for less than 50 yards, and he did not have a touchdown pass. They're going to jam him, they're going to be physical, and they're going to kick him out. Watch out for Tim Brown.
But I kind of agree there with Dion. If you're going to jam him today, you better jam him with zone, with somebody over the top, because you don't want a guy to fall down and give a cheap touchdown. And I got to say this about Jerry Rice. When he goes in the Hall of Fame, we got 2 coaches here. We should put the jacket on him because he caught all those passes against us.
Got some on me, too.
All right, guys, the NFL Today will continue in just a moment. Live from New York City in a moment as you look at 2 other big play receivers, the Browns, Tim of the Raiders, Troy of the Patriots, each game more than 1,000 yards this season.
Now you can fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by January 28th. So get packing.
You are now free to move about the country.
At a moment like this, you don't want to depend on bargain brake parts. So have your brakes checked every year and ask for premium quality Raybestos brand brakes. They're tested and certified for your safety. A life-saving reminder from Raybestos, the best in brakes.
Drive the all-new Kia Spectra, and at some moment, it'll hit you. The moment you realize you can actually afford a car with standard AC, roadside assistance, 6-speaker stereo, power windows and locks, plus Kia's 10-year warranty. We don't know where or when, but it will hit you.
Thank you! Thank you!
Introducing the 2002 Kia Spectra. Right now, get $1,000 cash back or 1.9% financing.
How'd your date go?
How did the date go?
Good.
I think it went well. What do you wear? Khakis and sandals. He's intellectual. He reads, is totally into foreign films. He's a great talker. Very athletic, very good body. I think he's really deep and special.
Talking things over? Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
He doesn't even own a TV. Keeper.
I love this show.
Here in this forest, a body will be found.
He's dead, Sarge.
And the trial of the decade will begin.
Did you kill him?
All new Jag, CBS Tuesday.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. Nextel, how business gets done. And by Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Look at John Gruden trying to figure it out. Game time approaching in Foxborough. The Raiders and the Patriots. Welcome back to the NFL Today. Time for I Bet You Didn't Know. IBM, I Bet You Didn't Know. Randy and Dion were correct last week with the Ravens over the Dolphins, as was your humble host, I might add.
Humble host.
Where is he?
Dion, you get first pick.
I tell you what. Oakland Raiders, you got off that plane. One guy said, hey, dude, it's freezing out here. That's all it took, but that to spread around the team like a virus. I tell you what, New England, I like you. Raider fans, you're the best, just in case we go there next week. I love you.
Well, I'm going with the home team because one home team got to win today. I'm going with New England.
Well, I'm going with the Raiders for a lot of reasons. Plus, hey, the way the coaching carousel has been, Al Davis might trade John Gruden to Tampa for a first-round draft pick.
Being a trade.
It's been wild.
Hey, you think about toughness, you think about who? The Raiders, big, they wear the black and all that. The tough guys today on offense will be Antoine Smith, the running back, and on defense for the Patriots, Matt Stevens, a safety. They set the tempo that permeates through the whole team. That's where the toughness is. Dion?
Tampa Bay, get Jerry Glanville a call, man. We got to get this guy out of here. He's ready to work. Tampa, go, Jerry. Collect.
Coming up, it's the AFC Divisional playoff game between the Raiders and the Patriots. We'll see you at halftime. Enjoy it all right here on CBS. We'll see you at halftime.
Should a suspected terrorist be tortured to make him talk? It won't surprise you who says no. It will surprise you who says yes. 60 Minutes, Sunday.
Everybody Loves Raymond. Monday on CBS. It's all here.
Today's Ford trucks and sport utilities come from generations of hardworking Fords that were known for costing less to own, less to run. Today, that means 0% interest or $2,000 to $2,500 cash on 2002 Ford Explorers, F-150s, Expeditions, Rangers, and more. That's 0% or $2,000 to $2,500 cash back on select 2002 Ford trucks and SUVs. From the F-100 to the Explorer, Ford's been taking it to the streets for over 50 years. See your local Ford store today.
This weekend, you have some decisions to make. Come to Blockbuster and pick any 3 movies you want or any 2 video games for just $9.99. Decisions. Choose from the hottest new releases, even on DVD, like American Pie 2, Jeepers Creepers, and The Fast and the Furious. Or choose the coolest video games, like Maximo, Max Payne, and Final Fantasy X. What to do. This weekend, you can't go wrong with 3 movies or 2 video games for just $9.99. Only at Blockbuster.
The 240 horsepower Nissan Pathfinder.
Mike Adamle on CBS 2.